All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elite, and welcome back to another video. So in this week's video, I'm going to be sharing with you something that changed my product research forever. This is something I changed a couple of years ago, and I do it every single time that I do product research. And with Amazon FBA becoming so competitive, you need this type of thing to give you an edge. And this is the difference between a beginner and an experienced seller that knows what they're doing. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I do, so that when you come to choose a product to sell on Amazon, you know exactly what you're getting into and you're going to know what you need to achieve to see the sort of results you're expecting based on your own analysis. So let me take you over to an example niche. Don't ask how I ended up here. We're going to be taking a look at hooded blankets. Now, this probably isn't actually even the correct search term because the search volume for this is really, really low. But I'm just using this as an example to drive home the point I'm trying to make in this video. So a lot of Amazon FBA beginners, when they fire up their sales estimator tool, I'm using X-Ray from Helium 10. They'll look at the statistics. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know roughly what to make of all of these. If not, I'll link to a video at the end of this one. The first thing we're going to do is filter out the sponsored products. But they'll look at these statistics and then they'll be confused as to actually what the demand levels are actually like. So let me explain. You'll take a look at this column here, the sales column, and you'll see the top seller is doing nearly 2,000 units per month. Position 2 is at 600 units per month, and then 250, then 64. But it isn't a linear decline. You then see someone selling more at 295, then 473, then 15, then 230, then 141, and you start thinking, well, how many units can I actually sell in this niche? You know, are you going to be naive and go, I'm going to sell 2,000 units, which by the way is a terrible idea for a new seller because you won't have the budget to actually order that amount of inventory and launch the product. But you'll look at these stats and you'll probably be confused. This is why in the past I've always talked about a landing zone, which is looking for around about 5 sellers selling a similar amount of units, as you're going to have outliers in both directions. You're going to have these guys at the top at nearly 2,000 units per month, and then these guys near the bottom at 15 units or 64 units per month. So if you were looking for a landing zone in this niche, you'd probably say we've got 250, 295, 230, 175, 218, 202. So you have a landing zone there around about 200 to 250 units. And if you targeted that, there is a reasonable chance that for this particular search term, you'd have a chance of landing on the front page. But what is the actual reasoning behind this discrepancy in figures? And this is what you need to understand, because if you understand the variation in sales between the different products, then when you choose a product, you'll feel much more confident in whether you can achieve the estimates that you're looking at and what you need to do to achieve those type of sales figures as well. So let's just take this top seller as an example. Let's open up this listing. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this listing into a piece of software called Cerebro, which is a keyword analyzer tool. So I can use this shortcut here. You can also just open up Cerebro and copy and paste the ASIN at the top. And then what we can do is we can find out which keywords this particular product is ranked for. And to make it easier to compare, I like to put in a minimum search volume, otherwise you get an awful lot of noise. So I'm just going to pop in something like 300. You can adjust this up and down depending on what the demand is like in the niche. And then what I'm also going to do is open up one of the lower sellers, maybe 2 of the lower sellers. These guys here at 619, we'll open these, and these guys here at 251, and these guys here at 64. And we'll try to see whether we can get a feel for why these products are performing so differently. And by doing this, by going through this process, if you found a niche of interest, you're going to be in a much better informed position to be able to take on this niche and achieve what you're aiming to achieve. So going back to this first product here from the brand Sienna, just under 2,000 units per month. Let's see what their Cerebro says. So I've put in the minimum search volume of 300. So we're looking at the search volume column here and also the organic rank column on the right hand side. So you see they've got some really good ranks here, position 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 for lots of different keywords. And if we look for ones with decent search volume, hooded blanket, which clearly isn't the right keyword for me to be searching because it's only 400 search volume. If you're doing the sort of sales we're seeing, you're expecting search volumes of 2,000-3,000 plus, potentially up into maybe 5,000 to 10,000 as well. So the majority of their sales isn't coming from hooded blanket. You look down this list and you'll see you've got one here at Hoodie, which I guess is another way or brand name of saying it. Gift for her at 1,490. Let's see if there's any really big ones that stand out. Presents for women at just under 5,000. Presents for mum at 1,500. And then we've got a massive one here, birthday gifts for women at 54,000 search volume, and they are ranked 18th position for that. So in addition to what you would say are the directly related niche keywords, so different types of blankets and hoodies, they're also ranking for these gift and present style keywords as well. So this is clearly part of their strategy. And this is one of the reasons why they're getting so much higher sales on paper than the other people in the niche, because they are also targeting other keywords. So if you come into this niche expecting to match their sales, you need to be matching the types of keywords they're going after. Whereas if we take the next product, which was, if we just double check in X-Ray first to see what the sales estimates were for this individual product. And these were estimated at around about 600 units per month. So let's see what their keyword data says in comparison. So we're going to take this through to Cerebro. We're going to put in the same minimum search volume filter so that we just see the high volume keywords, because ultimately that is where the majority of sales are going to be coming from, is the high volume relevant keywords that they are ranked organically well for, and also sponsored ranks as well. So we pop in there at 300 and apply the filters, and let's see. So these are, they're ranked number 1 for sloth gifts for women. Is there some sort of sloth blanket? Oh, I guess it is a sloth. So I didn't even, you've got a 300 search volume, which you're going to get maybe a couple of sales from per month, but certainly it's not going to be responsible for the 600 sales estimate we just saw. And if we scroll down, they are also targeting gifts for her at 11,000. Have they got the big one, which the other one had, which was gifts for women? They are ranked 34th for gifts for women as well. So that's why their overall sales are lower, because they are ranked lower for the relevant gift keywords that we just showed you on the other product. And let's just take as a final example the one that was selling 64 units per month, but still ranked organically 4th for this niche. Let's take this product through to Cerebro and see what they're ranking for. Because ultimately, if you're going to this niche, you probably don't want to achieve 54 sales per month. So you almost need to look at this as an example of what not to do. I'm not saying if you come into this niche, you have to rank for the gift and present related keywords, but it's important to be aware that the products that are selling above that landing zone that we discussed at maybe around 200, 250 units, the products selling above that are targeting other keywords outside of the directly related keywords. So anything to do with hoodies or blankets. So again, we're popping a minimum search volume. And I know this video is probably slightly technical for people that haven't experienced this before, but if it doesn't make sense, please rewatch this video a couple of times, because this will change the way you do product research, and it will change the way you understand how products perform on Amazon and what you can achieve with your own product. So if we take a look at their ranks, they are ranked for hoodies for women. You notice they've got no organic ranks in the top 5. So it starts from 6 onwards. This is for keywords, obviously for minimum search volume of 300. So they aren't ranking very well for other keywords. Is there anything to do with gifts? We've got top 10 birthday gifts, but that's a low search volume, only 318 searches per month. Have they got any others here? Weighted blanket at 20,000, but they're ranked 149, so that doesn't even apply. So really, they aren't ranking for any of the gift-related search terms, and they're not ranking very well for the majority of other high-volume search terms as well. Hoodie at 4,500, they're ranked 42nd. They're not going to be generating sales from that position. So this is why sales in a niche will vary so much. Let's just take a look at one of the products that is doing around about 250, which is the landing zone I just spoke about. So position number 3 here, 250 units per month. Let's see what they are ranking for to give us a better indication of what we would need to achieve if we wanted to hit 200 to 250 sales per month. This is what we'd need to do with our own organic ranks. These are the type of keywords we'd be targeting with our sponsored adverts. So if we're going to pay to target keywords, you want to make sure the type of keywords actually deliver results. Let's apply a minimum search volume again of 300 and see what these guys are ranking for. So they're ranked 2nd for hoodie. Then you've got hooded blanket, oversized hoodie. Have they got any gift search terms? 14-year-old gifts for girls, but again, a low search volume in comparison. Same for 15-year-old girls. There aren't any of the major ones, any of the major gift terms, but because they're ranked well on the right-hand side, as you can see, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, for search terms which have some search volume. When you add this up, you kind of get into probably 10,000 plus of search volume per month. You can see why they're generating a reasonable amount of sales, but not the crazy amount of sales we saw from the products that are ranked for gift search terms that have an insane amount of search volume and are very, very difficult to get ranked for. So when you're analyzing a niche, it's about doing this kind of deep dive into the different overall sales numbers for individual products so you can understand what would be required of you and your product, where you'd need to rank, what keywords you'd need to target to achieve the type of sales estimates that you're seeing when you run X-Ray, to see how everyone else is performing in the niche. Now, if you're not already using Helium 10, you can get a discount. We've got FBA Elite 20. That will save you 20% off for the first 6 months. Or you can use FBA Elite 10. That will save you 10% off forever. Or either code, tick the 25% off, which is your annual saving. And that is the cheapest way to buy Helium 10. Now, earlier on in the video, I mentioned about how to analyze a niche as a whole, all of the other columns that I was showing you on X-Ray. If you want to understand how I analyze a niche, I'm going to pop up a video now, and I'll see you guys over there.